Hello and welcome to Hold My Popcorn, where we make fun of the good movies and trash the bad ones. I'm Muggle Max Healy, still stuck in Nashville. Tim will be on shortly, but over in Sacktown, California, we have our werewolf expert, John Anoshak. How are you, John?
So, yes, I've been studying the lycanthrope. I don't know how the fuck to say it. But during my research, I discovered something amazing from the Muggle world. Guys, it's called cocaine. I have been able to punch out so much research and also be able to move fast enough to punch a werewolf in the face with my ear and still run away. It's awesome. Cocaine's fantastic. We got to let everybody know about it. I'm great, Max. How are you?
New thing called cocaine.
Woo!
Check it out. I'm doing great. Former co-host and friend of the show, Magic Mike Prubble, pulled the Lily Potter and sacrificed his airtime this week. But we do have the man with the lifelong subscription to Quick Spell magazine, the Portland, Maine squib himself. Bill Dooley's back on the show for another week of abuse. How you doing, Billy boy?
I every week I keep forgetting that you're going to insult me in this intro, and I'm just upset every single time. I'm fine, Max. I guess I'm fine. You get me riled up right from the start, so let's just go. Whatever.
And most importantly, we're welcoming in a special guest to the show. He's a real 21st century Renaissance man. You might know him from the band Cowman, or the sketch comedy group Murderfist, or the Twitch channel. Or for this, holding it up. And for the sake of this platform that we're currently on, you might know him as a co-host of the very popular nerd culture podcast, Wizard and the Bruiser, as well as the pop culture podcast, Page 7 on the Last Podcast Network, exclusively on Spotify. America's sweetheart to the gaming world, Holden McNeely's on the show.
Thank you so much. Wow, you really nailed that. That was a lot of credits to say, and you said all of them, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for repping me so well, and thank you so much for having me on the show to talk about my favorite Harry Potter film of the series.
And we got Timmy.
You sure you don't want to just call it quits after getting that? I mean, there's really nowhere for you to go but down.
Yeah,
that's the only time you have ever pronounced an entire sentence, every single word, syllable.
Dude, just wait till I have to pronounce the director's name and all the teachers. It's gonna be bad. Not good. And it looks like Timmy's on, too. How you doing, Timmy?
I'm doing okay. Having some technical difficulties.
We can tell.
But otherwise, doing great. So, yeah, don't let me interrupt.
Fantastic.
The big leagues here. Yes.
Also, Holden has a live Twitch stream that starts in less than 2 hours, so he might have to jump off early. We got an alarm set just in case.
Maybe. I want to make it the whole way. I think we can do it. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. But with all that said, it's week 3 of a Harry Potter movie marathon, which means we watched 2004's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. I hope I said that right. Whose name might sound familiar because he went on to direct Children of Men after this, and then he also won 2 Best Director Oscars for Gravity and Roma.
Wow.
Got a real pro.
Indeed.
Good shit.
Mm-hmm. And I was saying this before because I was really psyched back when this movie came out. I was not a Potter boy. What do you call it? Whatever. I wasn't a Potterarian. Yeah, I wasn't a part of the Potter posse back then. But I was psyched when I found out that the director of Y Tu Mamá También was directing the new Harry Potter, because I thought that was such a ballsy move on the studio's part, because Y Tu Mamá También is this sex movie, an indie fun sex film. And so it was so cool that I was like, wow, and it's all so much darker and everything. But I think that was the only movie I watched of the series back when it came out, because I wasn't really into Harry Potter. And then my now wife and I took a few years ago to actually sit down and read all the books and watch all the movies together. And that's awesome. And that was a really awesome year, honestly, of media consumption.
You did the whole thing in a year, and you're still with us.
Yeah. Still here. Still able to do this. And my wife hasn't left me. Now she's trapped with me. So it is a really exciting time for everybody.
Did you do, can I ask, did you do all the books and then all the movies? Or did you do like book 1, movie 1, book 2, movie 2?
The latter, book movie, which is a really fun way. I love, it's nerdy, but this is what this is all about, right? But I love sitting and talking about adaptation. We actually do this with a lot of stuff. We read, Game of Thrones and watched that stuff. Kind of unfortunately near the end there. We did, what else? We did, we've been doing Golden Compass or whatever lately.
Sure. Yep.
Even though that was weird because I thought I could watch the show based off of reading the first book, and that was not the case, and spoiled a bunch of stuff for myself. But either way, love to sit down after reading a book and watching the adaptation to film and discussing why they made the choices they made. Why did they leave this scene in? Why did they cut this out? And really dissecting it from a script writing point of view.
Oh, this is great then, because a lot of what really frustrates me about this movie are things that they left out. So,
okay, cool. Yeah, you'll have to refresh my memory on some of those things, but I'm sure I could join that discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Like Cho Chang, not even in this at all.
Is Cho Chang?
Oh yeah, she's not.
Cho Chang doesn't come into the books until the fourth one, does she?
I think she's in the third one. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Yeah. Or just all the map, like not mentioning who the people who wrote the fucking map are, but
yes, yeah, that's kind of a big thing. There's a few. Yeah. There's a few of them. Yeah.
All right. Well, should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Cool. Movie opens up with Harry feverishly tugging on his wand under his bed sheets, followed by Harry transforming Uncle Vernon's sister into the lead from My 700-Pound Floating Life after she talks a bunch of shit about Harry's parents.
Dude, she got off easy, too. I mean, I don't know how she descended later, like if they had to pop her and then give her a blood transfusion immediately or how that worked, but she got off easy.
Harry has a short fuse. It annoys me. He needs to be a true psycho. You know what I mean? You don't blow her up in the moment. You plot for like 30 years and then you murder her in a gruesome manner, and she's not even going to know why. That's what a
mafia.
True psycho does. You know what I mean?
It's also just, why are we shocked now, family? That's something zany's gonna happen to you, especially when you talk a bunch of shit to or about Harry Potter. Why is this blowing your mind at this point? It's happened time and time again. Oh my God, a magical thing is happening. Wow, why?
Why is Harry still living with the Dursleys? Right. They're literally abusing him. They've been abusing him for an entire life, and apparently he's rich in the wizard world. Why doesn't he go fucking get a sick-ass loft somewhere, and like...
Get emancipated.
Yeah.
Doesn't he eventually in the books, I guess not by book 3, he ends up living with like the Weasleys, right? Or something. It's been a minute since I read the books, but
he makes his way to the Weasleys and so on. And then I think
it's because it's charm. There's like some charm once he turns 16 that like the Dursleys' house is now like a parent to anybody who wants to get them.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's just why? It just all of it. They don't want him there. But also, he's going to do something to the, it's just, by this point, we should be done. We should realize, don't talk shit or weird magic's going to happen at you. So, like.
Well, that's actually a great point, too, is that, like, they clearly did learn their lesson because they let him out of the broom closet and have his own bedroom.
Right.
In this movie. So they clearly took a little
happened.
bit of that to heart. Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, he could go from throwing cakes at our guests to killing people. Maybe we should adjust this. And they don't follow through.
Yeah, it's
they
like
get part
it's like my grandmother always said, you can't throw a bed at a magician to make him happy. It's in that. You know what I mean? You got to be a nice person.
There's finesse. There's manipulation involved. They have a wand.
The only issue I had in this scene is that Wayne Knight already did this in Space Jam.
Oh.
But I mean, I was laughing my ass off in the next scene too, when Harry packs all his things and is walking down the street, and you can just see her in the distance like a diabetic balloon, just screaming.
Yeah, that was a really nice touch.
Good way to spend a little extra of that budget money.
Yeah,
it's also one of the final throes of being able to laugh at a fat person in a movie.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I can't even make fun of my own people. That's what's so bad.
Well, then a big scary black dog creeps out of the woods barking at Harry when out of nowhere, the magical night bus arrives, taking Harry to the Leaky Cauldron, where he's greeted by Uncle Fester from the Addams Family.
Honest question, because I just don't know where we're at. Is the shrunken head, is that now problematic?
Yes.
Okay, that is, we're past the point where this is okay. I don't know. I have to ask somebody else.
Oh, is this
agree.
like
No, I
this is
agree.
like a Boo or something like that? A Boo from The Simpsons?
Yeah, exactly. I felt that there was a little bit of a cringe in that. Yeah, that's become dated for sure.
Yeah.
And is that like that in the book?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
I don't-
that like shriveled talking head is a thing on the night bus.
Jamaican shriveled
With
tongue.
a Jamaican
Right.
accent,
Right.
which is like not even. I feel like Shrunken Heads is what voodoo, which is more Haitian, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cultural missteps in that.
That's also what Bill calls his penis, the shriveled talking head. Wham!
Max, that's
Hey, it
not
works. You got a kid. You're
podcast.
fine.
But can we talk at least for like 2 seconds about the service that Harry receives, like versus what would happen in the US? So like the sketchy bus, like, screeches to a halt in front of him and he's like, all right, what the fuck do you want? You need a ride? Great. Yeah. Get on the fucking bus, dude. No, don't take your stuff. I'm going to take it for you. I'm going to help you. Get on the fucking bus. Here it would have been like, get on the bus, take care of your own shit. If you fall off, tough, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Here it would be like, get on the bus, don't step on the heroin needles, and don't wake up the sleeping junkie in the corner.
Another thing that I also found from my research of the lichen species was heroin. Not as great as cocaine. Makes you sleepy. Not as great. The
Miss a full moon.
I don't understand. Yeah. Ooh. That's the cure.
agree.
Gotta stay awake.
Do you notice when they first go into the Leaky Cauldron, there's a guy sitting at the table reading a book that they just kind of briefly pan past. He's reading A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking.
Oh.
I find interesting given the time travel aspect of this
Yes,
movie.
foreshadowing
Yeah.
the time travel. Very interesting.
So also during this ride, Harry learns that Sirius Black broke out of prison, and he was a big supporter of Newt. Jesus Christ, he was a big supporter of you-know-who. See, I fucked that up.
Big supporter of Newt Gingrich.
It's all right. You got it out of the way. Recover, Max. Recover.
All right, well, after this, the Minister of Magic pardons Harry for using underage magic. Then Harry's attacked by a vicious, biting book.
Love the book.
Love the book.
That's how reading should be.
I kind of felt bad for the book when Harry jumped on top of it. Like, that's kind of a dick move. You can't be nicer to the book.
Right. Maybe try feeding the book something. You know what I
Right.
mean? If not food, then a man or something.
Feed me a
Ask it
stray
how it-
cat.
Ask it how its day's going, Don't just immediately expect it to open up to you.
Harry's like a little pissant kid who's getting a puppy. He's like, never gonna train the puppy, never gonna take it out. You gotta train that book, you know what I mean? You gotta teach it, you gotta firm hand, teach it about discipline. Harry is a little pissant, let's be honest.
He is. He really is, yeah.
To my point in earlier episodes about Harry, could he have not put in some push-ups or something throughout this entire series?
Or I feel like he could magic muscles onto him.
Right?
Oh, boy. We're going down
Yeah.
this rabbit hole.
Yeah, I want to go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he magic a big old hog on himself?
Yep.
Some muscles.
There you go.
But I mean, I feel like he's not really lady oriented yet. I feel like, isn't that more of a book 5 situation? But it is shocking that it never came into play. And we've not gotten a J.K. Rowling tweet, posthumous rewriting of the lore tweet about it either, which is even more upsetting.
It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. I'm going to go lodge a complaint.
Well, a little bit later on the train to Hogwarts, Harry's telling Ron and Hermione about how Sirius Black escaped prison so he can kill Harry when all of a sudden a Dementor breaks into their passenger cart to suck face with Harry. But then their new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Professor Lupin, wakes up and saves the day by stunning the Dementor.
This is another perfect example of how the magical world is just batshit crazy. There's just they have just prison guard serial killers running around sucking people's faces off. I mean, like that wouldn't fly in the United States of America. I don't know. I think the magical world needs to get its act together.
They need regulations. They need like a full-on like TSA security clearance check for, Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers. We've covered that before. Clearly somebody needs to put tracking beacons onto these fucking Dementors because they just get out and raise hell.
I want oversight. Oversight.
Regulation.
There's really not enough talk about the politics and regulations of the magical world in this movie. I need a deeper dive into the Ministry of Magic and all the backwater red tape that goes on there.
You're saying you want for Harry Potter to get the Star Wars prequel treatment, and I cannot go down that road with you. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I know where this leads, okay?
The C-SPAN version.
Yeah, exactly. Just the court stuff. The red tape and everything.
That's what I need. Yeah.
Dude, Bill, there's going to be a petition landing on our front doorstep with 50,000 signatures after this episode now. So.
Well, then the newly cast Dumbledore announces the new hires of Lupin and Hagrid and tells the kids that the Dementors will be patrolling the school all year.
I was so happy to have a new Dumbledore that wasn't whispering the entire time.
This was when he was replaced.
Yeah, you see, and he speaks with a normal, just outdoor talking voice and not just hoarse whisper like he was just screaming at a rave the entire night before or something.
Bill, not all of us are not happy unless we're mad. We like a soft touch from time to time, and I really loved the old Dumbledore. He was the only one. He actually put across the warmth and the caring. That wasn't actually true, considering he's going to probably he sacrifices Harry. Spoiler alert later.
Right.
But he's still warm, caring, thoughtful, soft-spoken. Doesn't need to raise his voice and like all of that. And I'm like, oh, I want you, old man. But then he's gone because he had to go fucking die. And as I said previously, in the 1950s, you didn't let your actors die until the series was done.
Yeah, I hope they got a lot of money off of the breach of contract from his family.
Question: if this was made now and Dumbledore died, do you think they'd just finish it with CGI?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course they would.
And they'd use anti-aging for no reason. They would just like make him a boy. It's like, why is Dumbledore a boy? It's like, because we can. Because we have the technology.
It would look so bad too. Like you turn it on 2 years later and be like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is this? This looks like puppets on strings.
Daniel Radcliffe they had made into a baby. It's like, why is he a baby? Why is he in a diaper? Is Harry Potter's just like, because we can, dude.
Then in divination, is that how you say it?
Divination.
Yep.
Good. High five for me, class.
Yeah.
Why do you get a high five? You had to ask how it was said. You haven't even said it yet.
Well, I said it right first.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We introduced to the sister of Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys, Professor Trelawney, who tells Harry he's going to die, but Hermione thinks he's full of shit.
I love Trelawney. Spoiler alert. She's probably going to be my favorite character at the end of this. I love Emma Thompson. I love her take on Trelawney. I love how she is both the silliest character in the whole movie and then also the scariest at one point. She I love her work. I love her warmth. I want to be her. I want to live in her skin. I want to walk around in her skin, dance in it, tuck my penis and balls between my legs and throw on some music and just sort of dance around my room, just wearing her flesh.
You've really tapped into the core theme of the show. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed so far.
You know what drives me absolutely nuts in this scene is how much of a fucking bitch Hermione is being. It is unbelievable. She has this amazing privilege, which we find out about, that she's given time travel so she can do extra classes, including divination, and all she does the entire movie is shit on divination. Drop the fucking class. You don't need to take that many classes. Just drop it. It drives me nuts.
I'm not even going to go near you when you're agitated like this, Bill.
I know. The thing you can't see is that all the veins in Bill's forehead are just popping out right now.
We've gotten used to the signs.
The dog's shaking. All right, then you get Hagrid's first class, which starts off well with Harry riding Buckbeak, the hippogriff, but then Draco rains on everyone's parade by getting attacked and crying like a little baby back bitch.
Oh my God, dude. Like, look up Hippogriff under page 93. Don't fuck with a giant flying cat. Like, you just don't do it. And especially if it's got a beak, because that shit fucking hurts. It's not like, oh, you get a little puncture. It's taking a chunk out, dude.
I'm not getting cat out of that thing, John. I gotta tell you, I'm getting a lot of things but cat. Like, I'm getting bird, I'm getting a horse.
Getting a horse.
Lion. It's got claws. It behaves
Talons.
like a fucking cat, where it's like, nah, I gotta say you can walk up and touch me. Like, everything about it. You know, and
I'm going to say someone here is watching too much Tiger King.
as I sit here and my actual cat just chomps on my fucking hand. I wonder why I'm being inspired.
I mean, this is what happens when you give Hagrid a class, though. You know it's not going to go well.
I love how dangerous the school is. How you could actually just die in a class like on any given day, and the stakes are so high. It's amazing. There's no insurance. Like, what is the insurance policy at Hogwarts? There's got to be something.
Great question.
Well, I can tell you that Farmers Insurance does not cover angry rape trees that are out front, because that is also a very real possibility that you could be violated by a tree during your tenure.
All right, and then next class up, it's going to be a lesson with Professor Lupin, who introduces a bogut to the class, which is a shapeshifter that forms into whatever you're most afraid of. And the best way to fight it is with laughter, so the kids have a merry old time until it's Harry's turn.
You say it's a bogut? Is that what they?
Yeah,
Bogart.
like Humphrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
These fucking
Bogarting a
Brits
joint.
with their stupid pronunciations.
Dude, exactly.
It's a
Don't
bogut.
Bogart that you man.
There is an R in there, Max. You should use that R.
I'm pretty sure I rewound it, tried to just hear what they said again. Like Trulawney, when she said her name, I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
I cannot hear anything other than Brad Pitt in Inglourious Basterds.
Trelawney.
When you say Trulawney.
Gorlami.
We're playing with a new segment called "Fuck with the Host" as much as possible.
Honestly, this whole Bogart thing, it's like, I don't know what your guys, like, what your Bogart would be, but my Bogart would be child's laughter. So, like, this whole class would just be shocking to me. It would be so frightening.
I mean, Lupin is really playing a dicey game here with this. I mean, like, what if one of these kids is like severely beaten by his parents at home, and like his parents is what comes out as the thing that he's most afraid of.
Exactly.
Well, how are you
There's
going to
so
deal
many-
with that? Like, that's a fun thing to bring out in the middle of a class from Lupin.
Yeah, or just
Is that
a
Jerry
priest.
Sandusky?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Now-
Yeah, and then of course what's his name? Wolf Boy sees the moon is his thing.
Yeah.
At the very end there, little foreshadow for the Wolf Man.
I love that they made this deep enough to where kids love it, but also like it's kind of like the Disney thing. Like there's something in it for adults where they can be like, "Ooh, there's a mystery here." They're foreshadowing something. Like it's still, even the book series. I mean, it holds up for adults just as well as it did kids. It's very well done.
Love Lupin
Sorry.
as a character. I just wonder, like, why did they have to give him like a molester mustache in this movie?
I thought it was very dashing.
I'm totally the other direction, Max. I thought that mustache was
Tim.
fantastic.
The man's a werewolf, for fuck's sake. Oh.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But he's a fucking werewolf. Of course he gets an evil villain little mustache. I mean, he just eats you. He doesn't violate you.
Okay, well then you get some good character development with Lupin talking about Harry's parents. Then Sirius Black breaks into Hogwarts and attacks the fat lady portrait.
No.
I wish they would have actually filmed that, like, you big fucking bitch! Like, just going at her with a knife and her like,
I'm a Gryffindor, let me in!
What if, like, Sirius Black is, you know, like, you find out at the end of this he's a good guy, but, you know, he does have these personality flaws, like owning slaves, but we'll find that out in the next movie. But anyways, but he's also just, like, terribly offended by fat people and as a fat person serial killer.
It's like the Family Guy episode.
Yeah,
Downey
exactly.
All right, well then Snape substitutes for Lupin, where he goes off course and randomly makes the kids learn about werewolves, and also takes 5 points from Gryffindor for Hermione being a, quote, insufferable know-it-all.
I mean, I like the cut of his jib with her in that scene. It's true. It's straight up.
Somebody needed to say it.
Somebody needed to say it, exactly. It needed to be said. And what also needed to be said was page 394. Page 394.
You can
Alan
actually,
Rickman is the greatest actor of his age.
I love that.
He's great.
Yeah.
So my cousin Joe was at Brown the same time that Emma Watson was there. And I was asking him, like, do you have any stories about her? And he said that she was just really quiet. But whenever she would answer any question in class, someone would always just yell, 5 points or Gryffindor. And she hated it.
I bet that was really fun after the 7th week of it. I bet that was like so fun for her to only be this one thing. You know what I mean?
She's eventually like doing her PhD dissertation, and even her professors are like, "So, what was Daniel Radcliff like?"
Yeah, exactly.
You guys have any questions about the PhD dissertation, or just Harry Potter? Okay.
no insight on the nude play, maybe? Okay.
She did a nude play, yeah.
No.
Daniel Radcliffe did.
Radcliffe did.
Yep.
He did. Why? Of all the people that could have done it, I would have rather seen Alan Rickman.
I'll put it this way. He started putting in his push-ups after the series ended.
Yeah.
Extreme vascularity.
Oh.
Where?
Yeah, that was detail I did not need.
All right, we'll cut to a massive thunderstorm, which means the kids need to play Quidditch because they're only allowed to play when the risk of death is at its highest. And what do you know? A bunch of kids get hit by lightning, and Harry falls off his broom after being attacked by a Dementor.
Again, legitimately dangerous, no insurance policy to be found. And I just love this is the dark one. That is a scary, but yeah, no one in their right mind would let a bunch of children play a sporting game in that sort of weather. It is just in no way a shocker. I think every bad thing that happens to a kid in this movie is in no way shocking. And before it happens, you know, it's like they shouldn't have. That's a wild animal, a dangerous animal. They shouldn't just be trying to break it in, you know, right on the spot. And this is clearly not weather for any sporting event, especially one that is performed in the skies.
Exactly.
I would go so far to say that I am shocked every time someone doesn't die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I wish they did more of that. Like you just saw kids dying left and right during these scenarios, and it's in the background. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like putting the sheet over the kid's head and putting him in the ambulance and stuff.
And Dumbledore just sort of like coyly giving everyone like a shh symbol. It's this callous indifference to the death of a student.
Some minor background characters just frequently just fall off and they're never spoken of again. Like Seamus Finnegan is just all of a sudden gone.
Yeah, just gone.
So why is Dumbledore the only one of all of the teachers at this very prestigious wizarding school that tries to stop Harry from plummeting to his death?
Great question.
It's
Excellent question.
not time yet. That's why. Not yet. Soon.
What is the deal?
My kill.
Can they do magic without their wands? Because he definitely didn't have a wand. He just yelled out like whatever slowing momentum, whatever it was that he said.
Arresto momento.
He just stuck his hand out. It was like that would have been a great time to get the Elder Wand shot in there, but no.
Yeah. It's because the other actor died with the wand.
He's buried,
he's
buried in a white tomb on an island in a lake.
Maybe this is in the same universe as Star Wars, and he's high in midichlorians. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Also, Harry's broom gets raped by the Whomping Willow, and they lose the game. So that's not good. Mm-hmm. So now it's winter time, and poor, rich, and famous Harry can't play with his friends at Hogsmeade, so he decides to sneak out with his invisibility cloak. But Fred and George do one better by giving him the Marauders map, which is pretty much a cheat sheet map code for the entire school, showing him where all the secret passages to the school are, as well as all the whereabouts of anyone in the castle.
They just get so many cheaty things in general, I feel like, with the time travel. It's like time travel and a map that just lets you see everyone's movements. It's just
not even
feels... Yeah, it's like you don't even have to work for it anymore at that point.
It's true.
Yeah. Harvey Weinstein would have loved that.
Oh, my God.
I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Also, Harry would definitely not been obeying the rules of shelter in place.
No, God, no. Definitely not. No. But all right, wait, but holding to that point, it's like it's this with the invisibility cloak and that map. You would think that doing whatever you want around Hogwarts would be, it would be like playing a game on super easy with all the cheat codes enabled. And yet he still gets caught by Snape. How do you get caught by Snape? You have an invisibility cloak and a map that tells you where everyone is in the castle. How
I
can
didn't
you be
even
so
mention
dumb?
the invisibility cloak, by the way, when I said time travel and a map that shows where everybody is. I forgot. Yeah. Also, absolute invisibility. At that point, don't you just become Voldemort and take over the world and make it bend to your every whim? Oh no, but you're sad about your parents. But it's like, come on, dude, figure it out.
Get your shit together.
Harry's too busy starting his Cure cover band. You know what I mean? I need to deal with these emotions, man.
Dude, if I were a teenager and I got all three of those things, honestly, it would just probably lead to a lot of weird, furious masturbation scenarios. But eventually, after all of it left my balls, I would decide to do something purely evil with those things, because I was a piece of shit back in those days. Everybody was.
Then a little bit later at the Three Broomsticks, Harry, being the nosy kid, snoops in on a private conversation with McGonagall in the Minister of Magic, where he learns that Sirius Black was best friends with James Potter, but gave Voldemort his whereabouts. Then he killed their friend Peter Pettigrew and 12 innocent muggles. And he's Harry's godfather, so now it's personal, and he's gotta kill Sirius Black.
I'm sorry. There is no excuse for him shoving through the crowd of carolers in the square. I don't care what news you just learned. That was horrendous. I hate Harry from this point on in the entire series because you are such a piece of trash.
I love that, that teenage boy, I'm going to kill him. It's like, dude, you're not going to kill him. If he ever wanted to kill you, Harry, he would do it. I don't care whatever Patronus you can conjure. It's let's be realistic. That's like a teenage boy being I'm going to beat up my dad. It's no, you're not. You get the shit kicked out of you.
Or it's like a teenage boy being I'm going to put on this invisibility cloak and I get to jerk off anywhere. I get to do it on the football field. Yeah. I get to, I guess, on the Quidditch pitch or whatever it is. Just
middle of class.
So, but here's the problem. So you are addressing or speaking to the Sacramento masturbator, and I have to say that the fun comes out of being seen.
Right. I guess
it's the rush.
I mean, it depends on if you're in the whole voyeur thing, but then it becomes a thing where you remove the invisibility cloak in the middle of the act and then go, ooh, naughty, or whatever you say. I don't know what the person says when they do that because I'm not one of those people. I like to do it not in the park.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
My whole thing with the invisibility cloak, and I was thinking, thinking about masturbation while this came to my mind, is that
while watching the children, in the movie,
yep.
Okay,
dun dun.
Oh God,
they're gonna hear you jerking off. They're gonna hear that rustling and that heavy breathing. You know what I mean? So it's just gonna be an empty desk in the back of the class with someone going.
And occasionally it shakes a little bit.
Yeah.
All I can say is you have a point. That's all I can say.
Good. Let's move on.
Why is the desk sweating?
It's not sweating, it's me, and it's my semen. Ha ha! Just disappear again.
That's the best thing. Then when they're clearly Harry is once again masturbating in the janitor closet at Hogwarts. And then, time turner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, he was never there.
Mr. Filch hates Harry. He's just constantly disinfecting.
You can now call me the boy who came. Runs away. All right, fast forward to spring, and Harry's getting private lessons to defend himself from Dementors by using the Patronus charm. Then the kids find out that Buckbeak has been sentenced to death.
Brutal.
Yeah, so they children's movie.
Yeah,
Executioner.
but also children's movie directed by the dude who made that sexy Mexico film about two young lads enjoying possibly, spoiler alert, a threesome with a much older woman. It's very good. Y tu mamá también. Get it.
Oh.
Get it in your life. But I love how dark this goes. But children need to be... I was always told from an early age, another saying from my grandmother is, confront a child every day with death, and a scary man you will make. And I think that, but she had a point that, you have to expose them to these things so that they can become terrifying.
I totally
at an
agree.
older age.
You gotta start them from at least if you haven't started them seeing death by 2, I mean, they're just gonna grow up to be wimps.
Yeah. If I see a kid on the street, I always just go like, death is real, and run away. You know what
It's
I mean?
an important lesson for them.
That's really a civic service you're providing.
Right. And the parents are going to sit there. Oh, they're tired from the insurance job or whatever they're working. They don't want to talk to their kid about death every day of the week. But I say it's part of the job of being a parent. And this is coming from someone who does not have kids.
So with that in mind, Bill, how many times have you enlightened Francis about death?
I mean,
up to this point?
I try to watch as many violent movies as I can. Under the age of 6 months, I'd say he's watched no less than 15 to 20 like R-rated violent movies. Like we watched all 3 of the first 3 Alien movies together because he needs to know that there are space aliens out there looking to face rape you and burst out of your chest.
Yeah, if you haven't completely wiped out his ability to have human emotions by, age 1, I think you're really doing a bad job.
He's never going to survive as a lobsterman in Maine if he has those kinds of emotions hanging around.
I'm actually relieved. I thought you were going to say like you squish a gerbil in front of him every day or something like that.
No. Live sacrifices won't come until he's like 3. I give him a little bit of time.
He has to understand object permanence first.
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's just a waste.
Great. All right, well, Harry sees Peter Pettigrew on the Marauders map, but he's supposed to be dead. So, of course, Harry needs to go investigate. But oddly, Peter's footsteps go right past him, and then Harry gets frisked by Snape, which ends in hilarity.
Indeed.
Harry gets frisked by Snape. That's, yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird way to put it.
That's coming out in a New York Times op-ed in a couple years.
Yeah. Good old Slither shins coming to get you.
They enter that scene with Harry's like sitting in bed looking at the map, and Ron has a night terror where he wakes up is terrified of spiders. And fun fact, that is a real problem in the Dooley household here. I have terrible night terrors, specifically of being covered in spiders, and I have woken up like multiple. Like it's probably about like once every 2 months I wake up like violently flailing and yelling, trying to get the spiders off of me. It's a real problem.
I have witnessed this while we were camping in New Hampshire.
Can we mic you up so we can capture some of that audio for the show?
It is. If you want to hear a grown man scream in terror, that's what this is.
Huh.
Well,
so Ron,
I think your father did a good job when he threw all the spiders on you as a baby. He didn't go all the way, though.
Yeah, he didn't finish the job.
Yeah, spiders weren't big enough.
Oh, God. I'm going to have nightmares tonight.
Just Paul going, we need bigger spiders. Just dumping them into the crib. All right. Also, Lupin saves Harry's ass, keeps a map, gives Harry a stern talking to, which is way overdue. And on his way out, he tells Lupin that he saw Peter Pettigrew on the map.
Lupin totally gets mind fucked there. Just, that's not possible.
He gets his mind fucked in there, but who the fuck does Lupin think he is, playing like goody two, all buddy with Harry, and then all of a sudden, I am outraged that you would ever use something like this. Like,
that I created.
Like, dude, you're a fucking werewolf. Fuck you. What are you? No.
How did he?
Go
what's
ahead,
his
Tim.
origin for what's Lupin's origin for being a werewolf? Like he chose to become one?
No, the villain werewolf that comes in later on attacked him as a baby because he his family owed that guy money or something.
Okay.
I forget the guy's name. Veneer
Greyback, I think.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, fuck him anyway.
Don't talk to me like that.
I also love in that scene with Snape just being such an asshole. Well, Lupin, out for a little walk in the moonlight.
Yeah.
just those subtle digs, you freak. You goddamn freak.
Well, that's another thing that they don't mention either, that is a pivotal part, is the reason why Snape knows is because in the book, when they're all kids, Lupin attacks Snape, and I think Sirius and James like fight him off and like save his life.
They don't go into any of that. They don't really delve even all that much into like the friendship that exists between those four people, that they are the people on the Marauders map, that they all are animagus or animungus, however you pronounce
big
it.
words, Bill. Come on. Easy.
Animangus, whatever. They don't like discuss that they all had those powers, why they had it. Like they don't go into any of that. It drives me nuts.
I mean, they gotta skip some incredibly important information. You know what I mean?
Gotta turn a profit.
It has to happen. Yeah.
This episode of Hold My Popcorn is brought to you by Ballsy, men products for men parts, like your balls. It doesn't matter if you live in the Muggle or Wizarding world, at some point your balls are gonna smell. You think Professor Lupkin's two little pups between his legs smell like Bertie Bott's roast-flavored jelly beans after a night of howling at the moon and trying to eat a gang of 13-year-olds? I don't think so! So why don't you do your balls a favor and go to ballwash.com today and check out some of their amazing products like Ball Wash XL, which is body wash with natural ingredients including aloe vera, cucumber peel extract, lavender, and cedarwood oil. Ooh boy, any lady would be lucky to scratch and sniff your scented sticker after that. Or if you're on the go-go but your balls smell like no-no, how about you buy the Quickies Ball and Body Wipes, which are cooling, refreshing, textured wipes to remove sweat, smell, and God knows whatever else is in your taint. There's a bunch of awesome products to choose from, so go to ballwash.com and use the promo code POPCORN15 at checkout for 15% off your first order. That's POPCORN15 at checkout, and tell your balls that Hold My Popcorn sent ya. Well, after this, Professor Trelawney, in some sort of trance, freaks Harry the fuck out with a prophecy saying that the Dark Lord's servants will be returning tonight. That's not good.
How much acid is this woman on?
Exactly.
Another flashback.
Do you think that they actually have drugs in the Wizarding world, or they just like can zap themselves in the head and just be like, ball tripicus and just trip
Right.
balls for 6 hours?
I think they definitely have drugs, but like
I
some
was thinking
great
that,
drugs.
like, when they're eating those jelly beans, they're all like making animal noises. I'm like, that's drugs, right? They're just smoking weed right now.
Trelawney, too, has the good shit.
Yeah.
That's who you got to go to for, you know what I mean? Because she'll give you some kind of 3-day, like, psilocybin situation. That'll, like,
She's got all the
expand your whole
Quaaludes.
shit. Yeah, she's got everything.
We also
She toured with Hendrix, man. You know what I mean? She knows.
She knows what's up.
she also gives us our second fantastic and truly needed burn of Hermione in this movie with where she tells her that her soul is as dry as the pages in the books in which she so desperately cleaves to.
Yeah.
Man,
God,
Burn.
Fierce.
brutal.
Fucking vicious.
Awesome.
That'll teach young girls to overachieve.
I know too. It's because she's so good at it. She's so good at what she does. Everyone just shits on these grown adults. Just shit on her. I mean, honestly, it's very much like my high school experience, for sure.
Well, we're entering the third act, and to kick it off, Hermione punches Draco in the face.
one of the best scenes of the whole series. I love that.
Great. And that they repeat it.
Yeah.
And that she gets to admire her work later, which is fantastic.
Great form.
So I bitched about this on the last episode a lot. Like, you know, there are lots of opportunities for throat punches or just punching someone in the face as opposed to casting a deadly spell on them. Why don't we do more of that in the Wizarding world?
Right.
You know,
especially the people that you know come from Muggle background. You would think that their anger issues would result in physical violence. You know what I mean? Like if I went to Hogwarts, I would have been fighting people just diving headfirst at their knees, as I was prone to do around that age. That was my go-to move.
If you went anywhere.
So here's a fun story about Bill. We all saw 300, and there was a kid out in the parking lot, and Bill was so like amped up. He's like, I want to tackle somebody. And then he saw like a kid that was like 2 years younger than us. And he started sprinting at the kid, and the kid was just like laughing, thinking that it was a joke. And Bill just like fucking speared him on the pavement.
Yeah, that was
like you just called him beer.
Yeah,
Beer. That's what I'm drinking right now.
I was real jacked up on all the hormones from 300, and that O'Leary kid just had to go down.
I would love to inspect your childhoods one by one.
I mean, for me, I was just furiously masturbating at this point. So that's not why I'm just incensed that there's none of it in any of these. And it's not like I don't want to see some child do that sort of thing, but just there's no reference to it. There's no sort of...
That would have been a hilarious thing at one point in one of these movies, is like they go back to the dorm and like Neville just like quickly covers up his waist with a blanket. Like you can clearly tell.
Right?
Yeah, like,
the bathroom
way
forever.
More of that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you look at the map and you can see, it's like, why does he go to the bathroom so often and just sit there?
You got that SNL skit. I guess that's all the masturbation you could do in this whole thing.
Oh,
What's her name? Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Then the kids think that they see the execution of Buckbeak while Ron chases after his pet Scabbers when the big, black, scary CGI dog reappears, dragging Ron into the base of the Whomping Willow. Oh no, the most useless character in the franchise is in trouble.
This really is a continuation of Ron Does Nothing. It
Let
is
the boy die.
Amazing how useless he is to this group. And it's also kind of amazing how really the storyline should be around Hermione doing everything, and Harry just happened to be like following her around.
I'm not going to hear another word of this ginger bashing.
Did you guys catch that in this version, in this horrific rendition of the story, somehow while being thrown around by the rape tree, Hermione throws Harry into the tunnel under the tree and then just somehow also gets there herself?
Yeah, that worked out.
That worked out really nice. She threw him from a moving tree into a tunnel that was the size of that was 3 feet in diameter. Pretty impressive move.
My question is, do you think they used the same rape tree in this as they did in Evil Dead, or was that a different one?
No.
They're different saplings from the same parent tree,
Cousins.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so after some unwanted foreplay with the angry molesting tree, Harry and Hermione are jammed inside of it, where they come face to face with Sirius Black, played by the always great Gary Oldman.
Oh, Gary.
He's so good. I love him.
Gary Oldman.
I'm fixated on his chest. I feel like he always shows like a lot of chest hair, no matter if he's playing Dracula, if he's playing whatever the fuck he is in this, a slave owner that so happens to be a good guy. I don't know.
Yeah, he plays all these extreme different characters, but there's one constant.
Always showing the chest hair. And he is like just enough. It's not too much. And it doesn't get tangled in his jewelry. Huh? I think he has some.
He has tattoos. I know that. The director made himself, too. He drew out those tattoos for him.
Oh, for real? Okay. Yeah. So he likes to show off the chest. I like to see a pectoral from time to time.
Sure. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right, well, Harry, true to his word, attacks Sirius, but then Lupin, out of nowhere, disarms Harry and embraces Sirius. Also, Lupin is a werewolf.
Finally, it is revealed.
And they just can't take 3 seconds to tell the terrified, high school children in the corner that they are not here to kill one of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
They just keep
you can kind of understand Sirius, he's still kind of crazy after having been on the run and being in Azkaban and everything. But Lupin, it'll be like a five word sentence. Just say, "We're not trying to kill you, Harry." And oh, well then what are we doing here? Oh, okay, well, that puts me a little bit at ease, other than just the back and forth, no, I've got to kill him now. Well, wait a minute. What?
Honestly, Sirius Black, he's bipolar because he is manic in the tree. He is fucking manic. But then when he gets outside the tree, he's the wisest, kindly uncle you've ever met in your life. It's 15 seconds between him
that is true.
Bouncing from wanting to essentially be a murderer to being I love you, Harry, we'll live together forever.
We should get an apartment together in the country.
Yeah.
Also, you know who wasn't surprised by this Lupin twist was me, the 7th grade me, because Lupin in Latin means wolf.
Yeah.
And then also his first name's Remus, who was one of the brothers from Rome, who was suckling one of the she-wolves back in the day.
Max paid attention in Latin. I did not.
Took Spanish, you know, and I also did poorly. So
I took French and also did poorly. So that also didn't help me.
So, Lupin in black tell the kids that Peter Pettigrew was the one who betrayed Harry's parents, but then Snape runs in soap opera style, only to get stunned by Harry.
There is a lot of changing of wands and hands that happens really fast in this, where it's just like, what is it? Expelliarmus, like puff, ha-ha, Expelliarmus, puff, ha-ha. I mean, it just like keeps happening across the room. It is a fucking comedy skit.
It's kind of like a Pink Panther movie.
Oh, God. Kato, not now, Kato.
Honestly, like, I kind of feel bad for Snape in this movie. Like, he's kind of getting shit on the entire time.
Yes. And he's really, like, just doing the right thing.
I know, he's trying to help.
Well, Lupin and Sirius force Pettigrew into his human form, and Harry calls off the murder because he doesn't want his father's best friends to become killers.
Beautiful.
Should have murdered him.
So nice.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Books 4 through 7 wouldn't have happened if you just killed Peter.
Or, like, at least knock him out or do something to him.
Yeah.
Dude, they made the
break his
classic Bond
legs.
villain
I think
mistake.
they bind him with some kind of a spell. I don't know why they didn't do that in this, but
Yeah. Well, it doesn't work out.
Or at least like cut off a piece of his body and like eat it in front of him to shell shock him into never being able to escape, or maybe like find the thing he loves most, like a family member or something, and just like get like married, like make them pretend like you're in love with them and get married to them or something like that, right? And then sort of flaunt it and be like, oh, they love me more now or something to make him never fathom running away, you know?
Let them know that you mean business. Let them know that the depths of your depravity will know no bounds.
Yeah, just
You have to
like,
scare them.
just like use like a feather, like take a feather and just start like lightly tickling his balls with it or something. You know what I mean? Anything to get him to be mortified to run away.
hold on. I think your definition of torture is somewhat confused, and perception of time here might be a little. But you know what? I like you got your heart in the right place, and I like that.
I'd say bring him flowers. Take him to a movie. Whatever movie he wants. Afterwards, go get some escargot at a tiny French restaurant with a bottle of wine.
You know
and
what?
Fuck him in the bathroom. Anything to get him to stay.
But then leave and leave him with a bill.
Yeah, and then leave him with the bill.
Then he's going to be looking for you.
That's true. And then he'll come out. Yeah, exactly. And then he'll do exactly what he'll become. He'll become obsessed with finding me, and Voldemort will be like, "Why should you hang out with me?" You know, and however Voldemort sounds. I don't know how the fuck he sounds. I'm not a fucking impressionist comic. All right, I do my own thing. I do different stuff. Okay, we'll talk about it later. It's something else.
God damn
But
it.
either way,
Well, then Harry and Black have a serious conversation about Harry moving in with them, and oh fuck, it's a full moon. And Lupin transforms into the werewolf. Oh fuck! Creepy old Pettigrew transforms back into a rat and escapes.
This is all just making me very uncomfortable. You got Lupin constantly giving Harry candy throughout this entire movie. Then you have Sirius Black being like, "Hey man, maybe we should get an apartment out in the country where there aren't a lot of people around." It's like, Harry, I think you're getting taken advantage of here, buddy. I'm not gonna lie.
Meanwhile, Snape.
Go ahead, John.
No, it's just gonna say Snape. You know, he's been catching hell, as everyone was saying, this entire movie. He is the only one that jumps in front of this fucking werewolf.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he shows his true colors there.
Despite the fact that Harry just knocked him unconscious, like completely uncalled for from Snape's perspective, he still tries to save all of their lives.
He also jumps in front of his 3 least favorite students, which is showing a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but considering that he just gone over the werewolf, lesson plan, he should know that it's kind of like you treat werewolves kind of like sharks. You know, like the shark, you poke him in the eye, hit him in the nose, you just kick him in the dick. It works every fucking time. You just kick him in the dick. And also, fun little factoid for everybody is all werewolves are actually male when they turn into a werewolf. Little dangly thing comes out. Yeah,
Mm.
It's good for balance.
Fascinating.
Should have tickled his
Doing-
balls.
Really good research this week. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I gotta ask though. I mean, it is not really all that hard to track moon cycles. They're pretty regular. How does a man that has been a werewolf his entire goddamn life make that mistake?
Yeah, how are you just surprised? A full moon does just not come out of nowhere ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Did you take your pills today? Oh, fuck.
He knew. He's an addict. He's an addict. He can't help himself. He knew what moon cycle it was.
And
I just feel so much more normal without him.
And once again, we got another instance of fucking stupid Harry who has a magic goddamn fucking wand in his hand and he throws a rock at the werewolf. This kid has got to be mentally challenged. I mean, it is insane.
And then Hermione just has to do everything.
And she does,
yeah.
yeah. And she knocks out of the park with her cheat device. What? Ron needs a cheater's device at this point.
You can't trust Ron with
the
something like that. You can't.
right.
Yeah, no.
You'll find a way to fuck it up.
He'd fuck it up.
Ron has a pet rat, which first of all, it's like, Jesus Christ, never be friends with a kid with a pet rat.
Right.
And then his pet rat turns into like the second most evil person in the entire series.
Right. So he actually
It's
has
like-
a pet human. So that makes it even worse.
It does.
Yeah. Without the fun. All right. Well, Harry runs after Black, who's seriously injured. Second serious pun. When a gaggle of Dementors show up to suck both their faces, but then a stag Patronus, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Patronus,
Sure.
just like the drink. Okay, appears blowing all the Dementors away while Harry passes out.
Yeah, I just keep imagining if Bill's little like swallow Patronus was what's the thing that traced these.
Oh yeah. I got some kind. I did the thing on the Pottermore website, the Wizarding World, and I got some fucking tiny ass bird. Unbelievable. I was so pissed.
I know that sucks, dude.
Stupid bird.
You know, it was like a swallow or a dove. You know, something very
Feminine. Yeah.
yeah.
Bill is a dove. He's a dainty little dove.
Yeah, I did my Pottermore quiz. I got an ex-girlfriend.
Jesus.
Terrifying. She was just real mean looking at me. I was like, I don't want to make anybody go through this. You know what I mean?
Just bitching at you. You never put the dishes in the dishwasher.
Right? It was
Dementor's like,
awful.
I'm leaving.
I'm out. Yeah, it's effective, but I mean, jeez.
I think you might be onto something to replace the Azkaban guards, man. Just have a bunch of ex-girlfriends running around.
Girlfriend.
Jesus.
But one thing. How many times has Harry fainted in this movie? I mean, this is like the 19th time he's fainted in this movie. This kid's like a Southern belle grabbing his pearls. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not only that too. All right. First of all, I mean, I gotta. We've just completely not talked about the entire movie. The fact that Patronus will take the shape of an animal, and it's going to be significant to you in some way, and will always be the same. It's just been like a wall of white, and now all of a sudden, it's a stag. Apparently, oh, that's fun. I mean, that actually is how it's supposed to be in the movie, but we haven't, or the book, we haven't talked about that, so they just threw that in there for no fucking reason, I guess. Harry, passing out, sees a glowing stag standing on the lake. He's like, "Oh, my dead dad." Right. That makes perfect sense.
Sure.
All right. Absolutely. And later, it's not a stag anymore. When we find out what actually happens, it then becomes just a white wall. What the fuck is going on with this shit? Why can't we get anything consistent?
Yeah, my blood pressure is just as high as yours is right now.
I can tell, John, and I appreciate that.
Deep breaths, Bill.
No, those are for the weak. breathe through the anger.
All right, well, fast forwarding, and Hermione has a time machine. Makes things a lot easier now.
Yeah, now it all makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
No big deal. She's just got a fucking time machine. She could have accidentally brought back Hitler. Who knows? Like, it's all fun.
She could have just stopped this entire thing. Like before you go down the tree, time machine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many. This movie could have been 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
I love 5-minute long movies. Those are my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Holden's wishing this movie was about 5 minutes long at this point.
Well, Harry and Hermione first save Buckbeak, which is a good thing because Buckbeak then saves the kids from the werewolf. Then Harry performs the super powerful Stag Patronus, which I guess is just a white wall, as Bill mentioned. And what do you know, is him all along.
Aww.
Yeah, this is like a son, or like a son whose dad's gone to prison and hasn't really like reckoned with it yet, and he's always like, "Mom, am I going to see Dad? Is he coming back?" He's never coming back. I believe he is. He's a good guy, you know. It's like
Hermione even tries to correct him, like, no, like, your dad is dead. Yeah, I know, Hermione, but I know what I saw. No, you fucking don't. You're an idiot.
Listen to the person with the fucking time machine.
Listen to Hermione. She's the only smart person in the movie.
And everyone hates her for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Britain's tough.
Yeah. Britain's hardcore, dude.
Yeah.
More hardcore than, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I can't actually think of something that's less hardcore than it.
Much more hardcore than insert thing.
I'm telling you, those fuckers never miss a tea time, man. It's straight to business.
They love their tea and their cigarettes. Everybody smokes over there. All right. Then the kids break Sirius out of jail. Apparently Hogwarts has a prison. And they usher him to safety on the back of Buckbeak. Sounds like an urban dictionary.
And the kids don't break Sirius out of jail. Hermione breaks Sirius out of jail with that fucking phenomenal like bomb charm. I don't know why she doesn't use that more often. I just be blowing stuff up left and right all the time.
Again, a thing kids love to do that just is not happening to the degree it should be happening in these movies. Blowing shit. If I had the ability to blow shit up that easily, that would be happening way more randomly in different times.
Constant, whenever they show the outskirts of Hogwarts, you just see like explosions all over the castle.
Yeah, exactly.
She knows, like, she's perfected the Aloha Hermora charm too, and she's like, no, I got this. Let me give this one a shot, and then she like blows Sirius heads off. Shrapnel just riddles his body.
Just rewinds the clock 2 minutes. Hold on, I can fix it. Hold on.
Oh boy, I've done that before.
How many times have you killed Sirius? About 12.
It's just like Tony Shalhoub in Men in Black.
Right.
Well, to wrap up the movie, Harry meets with Lupin, who resigns after Snape exposes him as a werewolf. Then Sirius sends Harry a thunderbolt broomstick as a gift as Harry flies away smiling on a freeze frame ending of the movie.
Yay!
All right.
Such a callback to the 90s with that.
I know.
I love how Sirius just abandons him again. Hey, you know, man, remember that thing about the apartment? Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of crazy for me for next couple of months, so it's probably not going to work out. Anyways, bye.
You ever seen Angels in the Outfield? Yeah, that's going to be me. All right.
I'm so glad you brought up Angels in the Outfield. Have you guys done that one yet?
No.
Coming soon. All right, time for trivia. And I'm only going to do 3. Because like our RoboCop episode, I suggest you just download the Wizard and the Bruiser Harry Potter episodes off Spotify for more details, of course. And we need to get Holden out of here.
Thank you so much.
Too, so.
Oh, sure. But you could take...
This is like record speed for Harry Potter. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you guys are slamming through it. All right.
Really try to condense
I'm ready for some trivia.
All right. Well, Ian McKellen turned down the role of Dumbledore since he was already playing Gandalf.
Fuck that guy.
Much better character, Gandalf.
He would have been good. He would have been really good.
Yeah.
It would have been good, but I mean, I'm fine with the Dumbledore that they ended up with.
Yeah, no, I like them too. I saw Ian McKellen in Athens, Greece a couple of years ago. Had dinner right next to him.
Oh.
He was just looking classy as fuck. Had an ascot on. It was like 85 degrees outside.
What did he smell like?
I should have smelled him. I didn't have my invisibility cloak, though, so I wasn't able to do it.
So you weren't able to masturbate. Unfortunate.
Is this dressing? Yeah.
He probably
my personal dressing.
He probably smells like silk and leather conditioner.
Yeah.
Why is that chair vibrating?
Oh, it's a Sibian. Sorry.
Guillermo del Toro was offered to direct a movie, but he turned it down since he was already making Hellboy, and he also said the movies were too bright and happy.
Which is so funny because this is the dark one, and they let
I know.
Coran go nuts.
Yep.
So.
That's a shame. He could have. I mean, some of the other later ones have some seriously dark shit going on in them too, and he could have done some really good stuff with that.
Yeah, with his monsters.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, especially the 6th one.
Yes, that was what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
He would have punched those spiders continuously each fucking movie he did. Like there would have been an entire generation of just nothing but Harry Potter night terrors.
The
Dude,
Battle
the
of Hogwarts
spider nightmares would have been way better if that had changed. If only. Oh, you would have been covered in Supremo spiders if that had happened.
Gosh, the production value in this night terror is fantastic.
Yeah. You'd wake up screaming at the top of your lungs. You're like, I have to admit, though, really a step up from what they were when I was 9. And I think it's because of Guillermo del Toro.
And also, so the new director had the 3 main actors write essays about their characters, which ended up perfectly matching their personalities, because Emma Watson wrote like a 16-page essay, Daniel Radcliffe wrote a 1-page essay, and Rupert Grint didn't do it, saying that Ron wouldn't have done it either.
I love it.
That is really good.
What a boss.
It's great.
Okay, so I like the actor a lot more than the character officially. Okay.
All right, time for questions. Who is your favorite and least favorite in this?
Who begins?
Nice.
Do I begin?
Devonner?
Yeah, why don't you
Go
go
for it,
first?
yeah.
Why don't you go first?
Guess go.
All right. Least favorite character, problematic, shrunken head. And not because it's problematic. It's because, come on, it's Haitian. What are we doing here? Voodoo is Haitian. I love that it's problematic. I think that's great. I bathe in the waters of problematicness. But let's stick with what it really is. It's a Haitian, should have been a Haitian accent. And for favorite character, definitely, I said it earlier, spoiler alert, at first I was going to say Sirius Black, and then I was going to say Lupin, but those are bullshit-ass answers because it's clearly Trelawney. She rules the school. She's scary in a moment. She's an Emma Thompson again. I would slice her open, slowly peel the skin off of her body.
Delicately, though. Delicately.
Yes. Dance
Insert
with
Goodbye
it.
Horses song.
Oh, exactly. Play that particular song. Definitely become the lady with, the tuck, and go to town wearing her skin. And even maybe try to go out and about, go to the post office or what. I mean, obviously, out of quarantine, I would not dare think about wearing her skin to a grocery store during quarantine times. But once it's done, oh yeah, mama, I'm going to the circus wearing her fucking flappers. I don't know what to say. Get me off here. Someone else go. I can't be. My wife's in the room. She's looking at me. She's very disappointed.
Yeah, it's okay.
I love you, Emma
I can
Thompson.
hear my wife's eyes rolling from the other room. So.
I'll jump in. My least favorite character is definitely the girl from the Bogart scene who turned the giant snake into a creepy fucking Jack-in-the-Box.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
not fucking funny at all. That's terrifying. That girl is warped and there's something seriously wrong with her.
She's like the boy from the Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah.
It's like controlling the family. Yeah, it's like terrifying her instincts.
I didn't like that one bit.
Oh, so you like the spider?
The spider? No, of course I didn't like the spider. And it doesn't make it funny to put it on wheels either. I don't know what the fuck Ron was thinking with that. I mean, like,
That's even a faster spider.
oh, great.
arguably.
Now it's even faster. Right. Have you seen those things, how coordinated they are? He would master those roller skates in a second. Oh, my.
Yeah, they also have webs.
My favorite character is gonna. It's a little cliche, but I got to go with Snape. I mean, Snape is extra funny in this movie, just tearing down Hermione, tearing down Lupin every chance that he gets, and also being the only reasonable adult in the room, actually trying to protect the children from the serious threats that exist in this world. So Snape is my favorite in this movie.
Hell yeah.
My least favorite is Hermione, because
Shocker.
the gall on her being a strong, intelligent, independent woman. I mean, get with it. All right, just stop. And I have to say my favorite's Lupin. His devil may care, I'm definitely a heroin addict attitude is appealing to me. I like it.
So, my least favorite is going to be Aunt Petunia, or whatever the fuck her name is, that got blown up and, sent into the stratosphere.
Fat Marge. Fat Marge.
Marge. So, Marge, you don't talk shit about folks' family, especially you just don't do it. So she got what she was coming to her. Fuck her. My favorite is also going to be Snape. Consistently throughout the series, he grounds everything. I like the dry sense of humor. He tries to actually save the fucking kids, even though he has no reason to, because he hates them. They hate him. He's just a good all-around guy. And we'll learn in further episodes why he is just so endearing. And I can't keep that from, skewing my view of him. I love him.
John, your ratings are perfectly describing our relationship, because we agree on Snape, but I have Marge as my close runner-up as a favorite because of the shit she gives Harry. I mean, it's just true. It's just true. If there's something wrong with the bitch, there's something wrong with the pup. That's just a good line. It's a good line.
Yes, indeed.
It is.
Blood wins out. That's just fact. Everyone knows that. So. And then the brandy, like just a little bit. A little bit more.
So, Bill, is this how you got stabbed outside of a Boston's Red Sox game?
Oh, that was not outside of a Red Sox game.
No. That was outside my home.
Nice going away present for Bill before leaving Boston. Boston wanted to just say, here's a way to remember us. Stab, stab, stab.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that was great. That was good. I like that. You make me. You're a good coworker. I'm not going to pull my funds out of the 401k program anymore, Max. It's okay.
Good. All right, my favorite, I'm going to say, is going to be Lupin, and my least favorite is Lupin's molester mustache.
Okay.
That heart-to-heart scene was just it could have been a little bit better if he didn't have that creepy-ass mustache and was just like idly staring at Harry the whole time.
You know what, Max? Just because you're not very good at fashion doesn't mean you need to criticize other people, okay?
I frankly think that mustache was just very dashing, and it let you know immediately when he walked into the room that he's a rogue. You don't know. Like, he could just do anything.
Mm-hmm.
He might just walk up to Harry
and
and just chick lick the entire side of his face. You don't know. You don't know.
I just can't believe what a crazy coincidence it is that his name means wolf in Latin, and that was well before he was ever turned into a wolf man.
Yeah.
And his name being Remus, was named after Rome.
Yeah. That's like
weird.
naming your kid Bully. You know what I mean? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Naming your kid Janitor. You know what I mean?
This is my son, Cuck. How is he? Eh.
He's awful. We wanted him to be terrible, so we named him that.
This is my son, Mac, got hit by a truck. We like to encourage him to play in a road. He seems to enjoy it a lot.
I just don't want
watch
to.
Pet Sematary all the time.
I don't want to deal with Cuck though, because he gets to see all of his, siblings conceived. That's fucked up.
Right.
Yeah. You got to think
Very
about
upsetting.
that. The butterfly effect is intense on a name called Cuck.
Yeah. Man, this episode's getting real fucking dirty. All right.
Just furiously masturbating the children. The children love to do it.
How much
How much do you think Tonks likes the mustache rides? That's what I want to know.
Oh yeah, dude.
Changing that mustache different colors while it's happening.
Yeah, man. It's like Universal Studios over there.
Ride the rainbow. All right, just so IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes have their own rating systems, we decided to make our own. So what would your rating be for this one?
I'm going to go with 9 problematic talking heads out of 13.
Those are good.
Problematic talking heads.
Those are good numbers. I like those numbers.
Shrunken heads, rather. Yes, right? I think that's a good...
Fair. It's fair.
I'm going to give this movie 0 fucks, which is actually the exact same level of care that the director gave to important details in this movie.
Yeah, we didn't talk a ton about some of the differences. But there are.
I mean, just
there are many.
leaving out. I mean, I'm not even talking about. I know you have to cut out scenes and stuff like that, but like not the things like not explaining why they have the ability to turn into animals, not explaining the origins of the map, not explaining that Patronuses turn into animals, like, and those are all things that become relevant in later movies, not just later books. Like, in the one when Harry's teaching them how to do the Patronus, they got fucking animals floating all over the place. Why is that? They never explained that. What do you mean? Patronuses are animals? Who knew?
This is why I always was happy that these films were a companion piece to the book, because it all washes over me and I don't realize that they're not explaining things because it's just already in my mind. You know what I mean? And that's how I would always suggest everyone refer to these films. Always as like, these are just a little bonus once you've read the book.
No, because then I can't be upset about it. So I'm going to forget. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
You are in the right. But yes, absolutely. And also all of the rolling tweets are canon. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I've also just ignored the rolling tweets.
Oh, they're canon, baby.
We're gonna have
Hermione married the wrong guy.
So we have to stop all this talk about like the not working like, between books to movies, because I am deathly fucking terrified that the new Dune adaptation is going to suck donkey dick. So that's.
I hope it's good. I'm excited for it.
Awesome director.
Who's getting arrested?
Not me,
Yeah.
for a change. Sacramento masturbator is still at large.
No one's getting arrested. Someone's dying from the super flu.
I don't know. There was someone yelling, help, help, help. I'm being attacked outside my window. And then I heard sirens. I just yelled out there, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do a podcast.
I'm talking about Harry Potter.
Try to talk about the inconsistencies of the books and the films.
Important things.
So I'll give this 3 werewolf chodes out of 1 poorly designed Haitian accent of a shrunken head.
There were more shrunken heads in the movie too, when they were trying to sneak into the 3 broomsticks.
There were some more.
And they said no minors allowed after Harry got through with the invisibility cloak. I thought that was a weird. Why do we need more shrunken heads? I didn't understand that. But
Must have been a phase. I don't know. Was there something going on in the country back then?
oh, good question. Let's say yes.
Let's say yes.
Yeah, I like.
I mean,
yes.
we didn't have to worry about small hands yet, so that wasn't it.
Well, we don't really worry about being accurate or correct on this podcast. So let's just go with yes and just stand by it resolutely.
I like it.
Yay!
Yes. Moving on.
I'm going to give a rating of one of Hagrid's fantastic ties
Yes.
out of
All right.
Jimi Hendrix roadies, probably massive doses of peyote that she was on the entire movie.
I bet she's probably the school drug dealer, truth be told.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. And the one that like the teacher that like parties with the students to an uncomfortable degree, you know, like, oh, Trelawney's so cool, she parties, and then you realize in your 30s you're like, oh, that was actually fucked up.
Yeah. She had a problem.
Yeah, that was weird. She shouldn't have been hanging out with us.
I foresee you getting fucked up in the future. Just has a bunch of fucking drugs in a bag going to the party. Yeah, you know what? I'll give this 15 Quaalude stashes for Trelawney out of 22 indecent exposures for Harry under the invisibility cloak, out of 2,500 hours of therapy for Ron after realizing that he was tugging in front of a fucking buck-toothed, balding old fat man this entire time.
That fucking escalated. Jesus Christ.
The 3-part
Explosive.
fraction too. You gotta love the 3-part fraction.
It all equals up to E. Or excellent. All right, looks like we got a couple extra minutes. You guys have any TV or movie recommendations real quick?
I've dipped back into
Sure.
an old. Well, it's an older show, but I always will highly recommend it. Is Firefly. I've gone back to Firefly, and Firefly is just such a great show. It's a little hokey, you know, like you shouldn't take it as a serious show, but I mean it's a futuristic space show and it's a Western cowboy show. I mean it's fun. It's a lot. That's just, if you haven't watched it before, it's worth it. There's only 1 season, and then you can watch Serenity the movie to get the conclusion of the storyline, and it works. It's all just wonderful.
Sounds like Bill needs to listen to that Wizard and the Bruiser episode.
Hey.
Hell yeah, was the Bruiser episode. It's also on Wizard and the Bruiser. It is Mike Judge week for Pop History and Wizard and the Bruiser. Pop History is the page
Nice.
7 version of Wizard and the Bruiser. And so I went back and found out, or realized at least, how much Beavis and Butthead Do America holds up. It's a really good movie. It's funny as hell. I was worried. I was worried it was not going to stand the test of time, and it is just absolutely solid. The music's great. The comedy is hilarious. It's just so stupid. Like, I just love how excessively dumb everyone is. Especially, like, the principal is literally, the principal just goes like, that's what he does, and it's hilarious. And besides that, for TV, I'm really enjoying Mrs. America on Hulu. Is where I'm watching it. It's Kate Blanchett starring in essentially a show about the feminism movement in the 70s, but she plays someone who's fighting against the Equal Rights Amendment, who's super conservative, who's fighting who's fighting against feminism. And it's
Kate
just
Blanchett's awesome.
She's so good. She's such a good actress. Tracy Ullman's in it, and she's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, she plays the woman who wrote The Feminine Mystique. It's really good. I'm really actually surprised at how much I'm enjoying it. It's really, really solid. Yeah, just very well made and great soundtrack. That it's got that 70s killer rock and roll soundtrack that's just perfect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I got a new one that's out there now.
Oh, fuck
It's
you.
What? Shut up, John. It's Law and Order SUV.
SUV. Oh wow, yeah, that's the one where they just are in an SUV driving around solving crimes, but they can't get out of the car.
So you tell me I can't leave this car? It's all shit.
It's social distancing Law and Order.
Yeah, social distancing version.
So you tell me if I get out of this car, I might contaminate somebody?
You will
That's
die of
cold.
COVID, is what I'm saying.
Man, that's cold.
I'll give a quick recommendation, and it's Rear Window from 1954. Perfect quarantine movie. James Stewart's stuck in the house for 8 weeks. He thinks he witnesses his neighbor murdering his wife. Really, really fun. And it also stars Grace Kelly, who's just a total smoke show in that movie. She's not even my type.
Fantastic flick.
Fun time.
So, not a show or a movie necessarily, but Ken Burns' country music documentary is just to fucking die
So
for.
good.
It is so good.
Holy shit, that is a great documentary.
Oh, and I mean,
series.
it's the best way to tap into, because every American has woe. We don't even know what woe means, but we have some, and it helps you tap into that, especially in these days where the world's kind of ending. It's like a soft ending. You know.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and rewatch it because I watched it well before all this went down, and I feel like I would connect to it even more at this point. Man, it's so good though.
That's a good one too. So I could actually go back and watch it again as well. I watched a lot of the episodes kind of like half paying attention while doing other things, like cleaning around the house or cooking dinner or something like that. Like half paying attention just because the music was so good. But like the few episodes that I was really paying attention were also it was just great information. It was entertaining.
So I'm serious when I say this. Watch it like weepy drunk. Like get yourself like crazy weepy whiskey drunk and watch it, and it just hits home so much more. You're like, I know my people, man, in the hills. Like just it's good.
Get yourself on like Hank Williams Borderline Drunk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you it's worth it.
Another good Ken Burns one. Have you guys watched the Prohibition one? Yeah,
Great.
with Tom Hanks as a narrator. That's
Dude,
a great one.
The baseball one, man.
Baseball is baseball is
So
Civil War.
good.
Yeah.
Civil War is. I grew up like my family are big Civil War enthusiasts, and I grew up on that documentary. And then I went back and watched baseball, and I'm not. I mean, I like going to the ballpark every now, like once in a blue moon, but I do not really pay a bunch of attention. And that was one of the best doc series I've ever. You do not have to be a sports enthusiast to because it's more about the history of America, just like country music is. It's just
Social commentary and
yeah.
He's got one on.
I've watched the baseball one like 3 times.
He's got one on the national parks too, and that one's also really, really fucking good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, we should get Ken Burns on next week and just absolutely horrify him with all of our content.
Sure.
I got his number. I'll give him a call.
Find
Okay.
some way to sexualize the Roosevelt episodes.
Oh, that won't be too hard. Talking about Eleanor. All right, well, that wraps up week 3 of our Harry Potter movie marathon. If you like the show, please tell your friends about us and rate and review. And to all the Trumpers out there who have emailed us or just given us low ratings to our political commentary, just be happy that your guy's in charge. Don't be a sore winner. And also know that if Joe Biden wins in November, we're going to be trashing on him too, because it's not going to be that hard. The guy can't put 3 words together.
Fucking rambling Joe Biden. Oh my God.
Oh, God.
I cannot wait until he gets his first hot mic. What he says.
Uncle Creepy Joe.
Eating that ice cream. Yeah, Holden, for our Christmas month, we kind of went off the rails just because we were just covering like just really shitty, like we did the Jack Frost TV special.
Oh, God.
So we started just making up like Rudy Giuliani, Mike Pence homoerotica fiction.
As one does.
Some people did.
Normal stuff.
Yeah, and that's when the 1-star started coming in. But you got the Twitch stream to jump on to. Is there anything else you want to plug before you head out of here?
Just check out Wizard of the Bruiser on page 7. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/HoldenatorsHo. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on. This was super fun.
Oh, thanks so much for joining
Thank you,
us.
man.
Yeah, thanks for coming. This
Yeah,
was
we
great.
loved having you on.
Absolutely.
All right. That's Joe. Bye-bye.
Deuces, fuckers.
I don't know about you guys too. Like I was kind of letting some things like go a little bit more than I usually do because I knew we were on a time crunch.
Yeah.
I think maybe having that in mind is a good thing.
I mean, there's one thing I was gonna let go that I think I need to bring up now though is that Bill,
Yeah.
cooking and cleaning. Where is Sam? That's women's work.
Oh, look, there's only so much that can be done when she's down bicycling for the energy in the house. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I can't wait to see what the nightmares actually look like. It's just going to be like kids crossed with spiders, crossed with I don't even fucking know what.
I can't wait till Francis has the same night terrors as Bill, and then Sam has to wake up, and there's just two of them screaming about spiders. And she's just like, what is happening to my life right now?
Well,
Life is falling.
well, what choices? Where did I go wrong?
Yeah.
How many turns in the time turner does this take?
Right.